crafters, thanks for joining me here in the attic. So pull up a chair, grab your favorite beverage, and we'll get to crafting and memory keeping. Welcome back to Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things. If this is your first time here, this is a magical fairy collaboration that I'm hosting in my Facebook group for the month of September. There are still a few days left where you can go back, try to catch up on things, or just jump into where we are right now. All the information is down in the description box, and there's a complete playlist you can follow. We are on day 22, so this is my official day, so be on the lookout for your official fairy token and my prompt for the day. See if you can guess what I'm doing. Professor Fernscribe today is going to visit the garden pixies. This is a kit that is in my shop, Dandelion Fairies, that I'll be working with today. I've done some background work with just the pages and some background papers that's in the kit. I'm going to set these aside because there's some prep work I want to do first. I've done a little bit of prep work. I've cut out these flowers out of this crepe paper that I got at Ollie's. It was some of that, I think, all the craft things that Ollie's has been getting lately. It was like really cheap. It was like $1 for a big large pack. Wasn't sure at the time what I was going to do with it, but this turned out to be what I thought would be a good time to use it and test it out. Because one of my design team members the other day, we were talking about this collaboration, and she was saying that she had leaned into crafts that she had enjoyed as a child. Some of the things she has done for her prompts, and that got me to thinking about using this crepe paper for flowers. I remember in elementary school cutting out flower shapes out of crepe paper like this to help decorate like the bulletin boards for our classes at school. And so I cut these flowers out with the Sizzix die. It's from Tim Holtz. It's small tattered florals. And what I want to do now is tint these. And I'm going to be using some Distress Spritz in the Picked Raspberry and the Wilted Violet. And I am going to spray this. I don't spray a lot when I'm using these shimmer sprays and mist and stuff, because they do tend to make a mess. But I am going to spray it this time. I want a little more coverage than just what I could get with just splattering. I shook this up really good. Looks like the mica is off the bottom. And I'm just going to hold this up and kind of hold it up away from the flowers a little bit, because I don't know, these flowers are pretty light. And I think my nozzle might be clogged up. I might have to work on that. Let's get the pink one out and see if it will spray. Okay, that one's working better. And it is pretty light, so I'm not going to be able to go at an angle. I'm going to have to just go from the top down. And give these a little bit of a spritz. They're kind of blowing, but that's okay. Let me see if I can get this purple one unclogged, and I'll come right back. I could not get it unclogged, but I did discover that if I took it out and did it the opposite way, it would not necessarily spray out, but give me kind of a splatter effect, and I'm okay with that. So I'm going to kind of just move these around a little bit with some tweezers to get up some of this extra color that I've got here. And I'm going to let this dry and come back and start working on our page. I've got a lot of overspray here, and a lot of times I will just dye some scrap paper because I don't like to waste this. So I'm going to grab my water bottle and just put a little bit of mist right over this overspray. And then I've got these that I'm just going to lay down and try to pick up some of this spray. And then I'll use these later on for some background pages, or even to make like a master board or something. Doesn't have to be completely covered, because again, these are just trying to use up that extra spray. It's one way to clean off my mat and get some kind of background paper all at the same time. Okay. So I'm going to set these aside to dry, and we'll come back and work on our pages. While the petals are drying, I decided I wanted to come back with some ink and do a little bit of stenciling with some leaves. Because all flowers need leaves, right? I just want to create like a little pattern going down the page. I don't want to cover the page. So I'm going to use some old paper. And I know that seems like that's an odd choice for this, but old paper to me has a very faint green color to it, and I just want this to be a background, not a focal point. So I thought that would be a good choice in color. So let me grab a brush. Alright, that should be good. And I'm just gonna do a little bit of blending right in here with these leaves. There will be a little bit of flowers in here. I could mask it off, but I don't believe I want to do that. Just want a little bit of color right here on the side. That's a good look. Again, I just wanted a little hint of color, nothing too much. I just want to add a little bit more here to go completely down my page. Okay, I like that. Let's see if I want to do any over on this other side. I don't think I want to do any here, but I do think I want to put a little bit right here in this corner. I like that. Alright, let me set this aside, check on the flowers, see how they're drying, and we'll start working on our page. I've cut out some of the ephemera from the kit. I did the stacking pocket and then the two corner pockets, and I'm going to be adding these to my pages. I think I want to add this one right here, and I'm going to add these two kind of stacked right here. So the first thing I want to do is score up these pockets. I think one of these pockets will probably house my daily information card. And then I've also printed out the sheet with all the journaling cards from this kit that I'll use to put in this other pocket and those stacked pockets. So I'll just go ahead and fold these. Kind of like that. Let's go ahead and fold this one, because I'm going to kind of stack these two. I want to do it to where it's two separate pockets, but they're stacked on top of each other. Kind of like that. I want to ink these up. I think I am going to do the direct to paper technique with this since this is a lighter ink. Love the colors in this kit. Very springy. No, other half of the world is going into spring while we're going into fall. Sometimes it's easy to forget that not everybody is celebrating the same seasons at exactly the same time all around the world. Okay, let's go ahead and ink this one up same way. And I'm going to go ahead and do the journaling cards. I'm going to show you something here. You can really see the oxide part on these darker cards. It has that really chalky look that you can't tell sometimes when you're using these distress oxides unless you add water to them. But when you're putting it on a dark card, you can definitely see that oxide coming out. Alright, got all that inked up. I want to go ahead and glue down these pockets. I'm going to start with this one since they are going to stack on top of each other. Having trouble with my glue bottles here lately. The tips wanting to clog up. I love these fine tip glue bottles, but sometimes they can really be a pain. Get this next one done. I think I also might need to fill my glue bottle. I have noticed that the lower the glue is in the bottle, for some reason, I don't know if it's because there's more air in the bottle, the tips clog up faster. Now let's get this one done. And I'm going to do this to where it is also a pocket, so I just want to do the outer edge of these three sides. That way if I want to come back and put something longer in this one, I can. Just get those lined back up so it looks like one continuous pocket. And then this last one. Now I've got a lot of journaling cards that I can stick in these pockets. Just like that. And I can even, let's see what I might want to do here. I can put these in like that and still have, but I think I want to make this a little cluster to add my garden pixie label to. I think I like that, and then I'll end up putting my journaling card here for the daily information, and then I'll have another spot right there that I can do something with if I want to as I'm coming back. Let me get that glued down. I am going to put a little bit of netting right behind that, just a little. I love this dyed netting. It's really cheap, easy way to add a little bit of interest and texture to your projects. I want to just hold that in place because I don't want to go all the way up and glue my pocket together. Hold that right there because I don't want to put any glue there. Just add some glue right here. Get that tucked on. And the Garden Pixie label. Put that down and let that dry a second. I also know that the warmer it is, the faster the glue dries up in my tip. So when it's kind of warm, I have to put that tip back on pretty quickly. Otherwise, it'll clog up. And it's time to reveal our token for the day. So if you haven't already figured out by what I'm doing here, our token for the day is the flower. So this is where my journal card is going to go. And I'm going to be working with all the flowers that I spritzed and putting them together and layering them to put out on my page. And I've also grabbed some brads that are colored that are going to be the centers of my flowers. So I'm just going to start laying these together and kind of layering them with different sizes to get the petals just like that. And then I'm going to come back, I'm going to grab some foam. I'm going to slide this up just a second. Actually, I'm going to slide this over. Take this page off while that's drying. I don't want to mess that up. And we'll have a little place to work here. I'll grab my little pokey tool, technical term there. As Nate from Peach Domino says, we have technical vocabulary here. So I'm going to poke a hole through that crepe paper, and I'm just going to use the brad right through that, and then I should be able to pull them back up. And this way I don't have to glue each one of the petals together. The brad itself will keep these flowers together, and then I can work with them and fold them up and give them a little bit more life once I get them glued on the page. So I'm going to just add some music here and start putting these together. Okay, I got my flowers put together and I laid them out on my page, kind of how I want to glue them down. And I'm going to lay some that are just individual, that are just like little accent flowers too. And then add some Nouveau drops as the centers of those. So let's get our flowers all glued down. Once they're dry, I'll come back and fluff up these a little bit, just to add a little bit of dimension to the petals. I don't know that they'll stay that way, because again, I think my book's going to be pretty fat, so they may get flattened down, but we'll see. Only got a few more days of this fairy collaboration, but be sure to hit the subscription button if you'd like to follow along with the new collaboration we're doing. that will be an October oddities. It will be like a countdown to Halloween. I'm going to be doing weekly videos. I'm collaborating with Stacy at Crafty Dragon Creations. She is co-hosting this event with me. Several of my design team members will be doing videos on the different prompts for the day. Later on this week, I will have a complete video explaining how the collaboration is going to work. So be sure to be on the lookout for that. And we will switch from fairies to spooky with the turn of the page of the calendar. I would have kind of already been in spooky mode had we not been doing this collaboration. I like to start decorating normally about the 1st of September for Halloween, and then the 1st of November for Christmas. That way I end up having everything decorated and about a month to enjoy the decorations. A lot of times if I wait until October or December to decorate, I feel like I've just gotten them up and it's time to take them down. Okay, before I add my Nuvo drops, I'm going to go ahead and ink this up and stamp our day here, just so I don't end up hitting those Nuvo drops before they're dry trying to do this. Going to go ahead and stamp this for day 22. Okay, got that. Let's go ahead, and I've got 2 Nuvo drops that I've picked out. This is a raspberry pink, and this one is Wisteria Purple. And I'm just going to add these to the centers to make my flower centers. I think that's all I'm going to do for that color. Now let's grab the Wisteria, do the final ones. For this one, I don't think I'm going to do one. I think I'm going to do several, where it looks like a little cluster of flower stamens in this one. So let's see what Professor Fernscribe has to tell us today about the world of the garden pixies. Day 22, World of the Garden Fairies. The flower. Environmental notes. Wild gardens of extraordinary fertility, overflowing with blossoms, herbs, and fruiting trees. Climate temperate, flora blooms year-round under enchantment. Soil black and loamy, bees abundant. The garden fairies are caretakers of abundance, winged beings with garments of petals and vines. Society structured by tending cycles, watering, pollinating, and pruning. Songs at dusk accelerate growth. Artifact notes. The flower is a bloom unlike known taxonomy. Petals opalescent, colors shifting between pink, violet, and white. Stamens emit constant fragrance of honey and rose. When placed in soil, the flower does not wilt, but replicates surrounding flora in miniature. Hypothesis: Essence flower embodying all gardens at once. Narrative encounter. In their blooming courtyard, I knelt before a single vine. From it unfurled a blossom of impossible beauty, shifting hue with every breath. A fairy clipped it carefully, humming as she passed it to me. Later, near my satchel, weeds sprouted tiny blossoms in mimicry. A seed of all gardens, tending life as magic. And so that ends day 22 of Fairy Wings and Forgotten Things. Be sure to come back and join us for day 23 to see where Professor Fernscribe heads tomorrow. So until I see y'all again here in the attic, y'all take care.